Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Sorry for kind of coming back last week and then disappearing for a couple of days. The weekend ended up being a lot busier than I anticipated, and I ended up not really having time to record any videos, but this weekend I finally should have some time to be able to sit down and pre-record a bunch of videos, so I should be able to get content out a little bit more consistently. It's actually a brand new season. We're going to find Curl Blade 2 for our first opponent of the day. We finished the last season with a rating of like in the high 1800s, so I think we've done that all 3 seasons, so maybe I'll try to push for the 1900s this time around. Of course, if you haven't seen my last couple of videos, I talked about really what is going on right now, and I'm busy preparing for Worlds, and I'm finishing my internship up in a couple of weeks as well, so a lot of stuff going on, and I just wanted to thank you guys for watching whatever content I do put out there. Sorry it hasn't been as consistent recently, but thank you for sticking with it. And I do want to use some more fun teams. I know you guys have seen most of this team already for quite a while now. I just haven't had any time to actually build any teams in-game, but we're going to get into the first game. Our opponent, Curl Blade, is running a team of Arcanine, Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Kartana, Garchomp, and Gyarados. So this definitely screams Drifblim Lele without a doubt as a lead. I think Marowak actually could warrant use here because it does pressure the Tapu Koko. Even if my opponent doesn't bring it, like I think Marowak's still pretty good. And the last one's kind of a toss-up. Honestly, all 6 of my Pokemon are really good in this matchup. Like, I want to go with Garchomp, though, because Garchomp kind of wrecks everything that's not the Gyarados. And then with Gyarados, I can burn it with Drifblim or hit it with Shadow Ball. Tapu Lele can Psychic it, and Marowak can Shadow Bone it. I don't know, like Kartana would be great to bring in this matchup as well as Arcanine, but let's go with these 4 and see how it goes. Also, like I mentioned, since I didn't bring Marowak to US Internets, I also just want to feature Marowak a little bit more. So, we're going to get into the first game of today's episode. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Ranked, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. And once again, sorry for being gone for another couple of days. But yeah, my schedule now should be a lot less hectic in the upcoming week. So I will switch to some new stuff pretty soon. And sorry for those. I know some comments are like, oh, you always use kind of similar stuff. But I do want to feature more stuff, obviously. But it is a matter of fact of getting it in-game and stuff as well. So we're going to start off with the Gyarados and Arcanine lead here from my opponent, which is pretty interesting, especially because, well, Arcanine's faster. That's not too much of a surprise. It's Intimidate, obviously revealing that first. So, Tapu Lele is the slowest Pokemon right now, which is obviously a little bit scary. The safest play for me is definitely to just Tailwind and Protect turn 1. The Psychic Seed actually doesn't matter here at all. I think I probably will just Tailwind and Protect. Like, worst case, Gyarados gets a Dragon Dance off and Arcanine Flare Blitzes Drifblim, or maybe Drifblim gets doubled up into, but it's not worth, like, Arcanine could be Z-move. We haven't seen Fire Rim Z on Arcanine for a while, but that's still a possibility. I think one of these 2 Pokemon definitely will have a Z-move. If I had to guess, the Garchomp at the back maybe has a Choice Scarf. And yeah, I just can't risk losing Tapu Lele immediately turn 1. Of course, I can burn the Gyarados, but, you know, if Arcanine's Z-move, it still goes down. If I get doubled up into Lele, that's really bad as well. So I'm going to play it safe here because I know if I get Tailwind up, my opponent doesn't have great means of speed control. Of course, it means I have to utilize these turns of Tailwind really well. We do see the Flare Blitz target down Drifblim. Great target by my opponent, but I'm still okay with that. As Drifblim will be able to hang on, and that means that Arcanine will now definitely faint from a Psychic. We actually do see the double up here from my opponent, so really, really smart play, just knocking out the Drifblim. But once again, I don't really regret the play that I made. I really can't risk just losing something immediately. So with that, I think Garchomp is definitely the safer switch in because I can just Tectonic Rage the Arcanine immediately. We did see Ice Flame from Gyarados. I don't know how bulky that Gyarados is, but it is relatively speedy, so I think Life Orb Psychic might be able to just knock it out. So with that, since the Gyarados is out, Tech Rage here will either knock out Arcanine through Protect. At least I think it might. Maybe it doesn't, but I don't think... I could Swords Dance here, but I think I'll just go for the Tech Rage. And we do see Arcanine switch out. Okay, that's fine. Anything coming in will take a Tectonic Rage, and it's Garchomp, which I'm very happy to get a Tech Rage off. Just because Garchomp threatens my Marowak way more than this Garchomp does. Sorry, the Garchomp on the field currently threatens my Marowak way more than Arcanine does. Arcanine really can't do too much against Marowak. The worst case there was, I think, if the Arcanine protected, just because I wasn't sure if Tech Rage knocked out. This might not knock out Garchomp, but of course I am like admin max attack, and one of the reasons why I use that is specifically because it does have a very good chance to knock out Garchomps. So let's see. Yes, it does pick up the one-hit knockout, which is very nice. I might be able to just knock out both Pokemon this turn. Let's see. And oh, misses the knockout by 1 HP, and Gyarados actually has a berry. Wow. Is that citrus? Yeah. Interesting. That Ice Fang might just knock out my Garchomp then. Actually, I hang on as well. That was a wild chain of events. I really thought I'd knock out Gyarados. I'd be like, oh great, I'm in a really good position. And then it hung on, and I was like, oh, it's going to faint at least from the recoil from Rough Skin. But Citrus Gyarados, I mean, that's not like the craziest thing. Of course, Shoma Honami did have that on his Gyarados way back. And that was actually on a Drift Lele team as well. So, I mean, it could be worse, right? I still have Tailwind up. I can just Fire Fang Kartana, which I think I will go for, and just Psychic into... I kind of want to double up into Kartana here, actually. But Gyarados is the bigger threat to my Marowak. Kartana can't do too much against Marowak, so... But Gyarados actually switches out. I like that, okay, to get the Intimidate again. But that means Arcanine here should be going down to the Psychic, and then it's a question of who does Kartana target. It's going to be a tight finish, actually. Yeah, I should have doubled up. Oh, no, Kartana protected. Perfect. So I was thinking if Kartana attacks there, I lose one of my 2 Pokemon, and then the next turn it can protect, which is really bad. But now I just Psychic to knock out the Arcanine, and I can double up into Kartana next turn with the Fire Fang and a Psychic. As Psychic does knock out my opponent's Arcanine. Nice. So I wonder if that Gyarados is like Eevee to survive modest max special attack Psychic from Life Orb Lele, or whether that's a damage roll, because, I mean, Gyarados is like pretty bulky, but it also has obviously a decent, like, some speed investment since it does outspeed my Tapu Lele. Yeah. So now I can just Fire Fang and Psychic into Kartana. My opponent might need a double now, or Fire Fang miss. Either of those could save him potentially. I'm also curious whether he decides to just protect Gyarados or not, because you know I have Marowak in the back. Gyarados does protect, so that's good. Which also means that Kartana's not protecting, so hopefully I don't miss. Nice. Fire Fang connects, that should be game. Since I know that's not Scarf Kartana, I know it's not Assault Vest either, so this double target definitely will knock it out. And there's no reason for me not to double up there on the Kartana. I know it protected last turn, I know it's not Assault Vest, and I know a double target will knock it out. So the worst case is, I guess, Kartana gets the double protect off, and then Gyarados goes for a Waterfall on top of Lele. Because then, like, you actually don't want to knock out Garchomp, because then you'll faint from the recoil. So the correct play there, I think the best play for my opponent is to probably double protect, try to go for the double with Kartana, and then go for a Waterfall on the top of Lele, because then next turn you can threaten both of my Pokemon with the knockout, and then I actually lose. Because a Waterfall will outspeed and knock out Tapu Lele, and a Smart Strike will knock out Garchomp, or any attack from Kartana will knock out Garchomp. But now, yeah, I'll just SD here, because the Fire Fang will knock out anyway, so get myself to +1. If Gyarados Dragon Dances, then Psychic just knocks that out. If it targets down Tapu Lele, I mean, there's nothing my opponent can do right now in a 3v1 with Gyarados solo. Gyarados does go for the Dragon Dance, yeah. So, like, no reason not to Swords Dance there, because, like, Fire Fang's not knocking out like I mentioned anyway, so might as well just, like, oh, if Garchomp goes, or if Gyarados goes for the Waterfall to Tapu Lele, I mean, it needs a flinch anyway, or a crit, because I knock it out anyway. I said a lot of anyways there. But yeah, pretty straightforward game there. One in which I think Drift Lele and Garchomp just matched up perfectly. Marowak ended up not really being a factor. I brought it, like, you can see though why Marowak's important. It pressures Tapu Koko's away from coming out. That's actually a really big deal because Electrum Z Tapu Koko is something that's picked up so much popularity, especially at the US International Championships. And once again, you know, that's why I replaced Metagross for that Marowak. And so by having Marowak, just in team preview, like, if you are the Electrum Z set, then, you know, you don't want to just potentially waste your Z move on a Marowak switch, and so a lot of players don't even bring the Tapu Koko. And one of the things that's nice about scaring Tapu Koko away is that outside of Tailwind, like, Tapu Koko still puts in work against my team, because, you know, I'm pretty slow with Garchomp and Tapu Lele. And so as a result, by not going up against the Tapu Koko, it means that even after Tailwind, I can be in a pretty good position. We're going to go up against a 1782 rated opponent from Japan, though. It's going to be a really tough one here with the scary looking team. And the Battle Spot season just reset, so, you know, for an opponent to be that high up, like, this is definitely one of the higher ranked players on Battle Spot right now, so should be an exciting game. We've got Porygon Z, Garchomp, Smeargle, Xurkitree, Clefairy, and the Gyarados. So a Porygon Z Smeargle is definitely really interesting because Marcus Thatcher actually used it was actually based off a Japanese team, but like a Scarf Smeargle variant where you would use Map Block and then just go straight for the Z conversion. So there's no terrain, which is pretty interesting to note on my opponent's team, so I feel like I should just go with Drifblim and Tapu Lele. Because I can Tailwind, yeah. There's another Gyarados, and the Xurkitree is definitely intriguing. Because of Xurkitree, I kind of want to bring Marowak just to... But like we saw in the last game, maybe my opponent doesn't bring Xurkitree because you do see that Marowak. So it could be safer for me to just bring Garchomp and Kartana instead. That's pretty tempting, to be honest. It is very tempting, especially because there is a Clef on my opponent's team, so Kartana could put in more work. I don't know, as much as I love Marowak, it is really bad in this matchup, other than just scaring Xurkitree away. So hopefully Marowak did its job, and Xurkitree doesn't come out in it doesn't come out in the game. But maybe my opponent realizes, oh, my opponent's not going to bring Marowak, it's so bad in this matchup. So the thing is, even if Xurkitree does come out, it's not like the worst case scenario for me. But I am really curious if the Porygon Z set does come out. It actually is Porygon Z and Smeargle immediately. So obviously this is scary because I don't know what Smeargle set it is. If it's Scarf, actually Smeargle might just outspeed me because my Tapu Lele has like no speed investment. So I mean, obviously like a Tailwind here with Drifblim, which I think I definitely will do. Yeah, the question is just like, do I just attack with Tapu Lele? A Tailwind. Protecting is the safer call for sure. But what if my opponent just Spores? But it also could be, it might not be Z conversion. This is really tough. I really do want to Psychic. But if I get Spored, that's quite bad for me. Yeah, I'm going to play it safe and Tailwind Protect. I don't like this too much, though, because Drifblim can't do really any damage to either of these normal type Pokemon. But I kind of had to go with Tailwind. Oh, Smeargle just follow me. Okay. So, guessing it's Sash then, if that's the case. I'll take this because I don't have my Drifblim falling asleep at least, and... Oh, what?! That was so sick! But now I'm screwed. I'm completely screwed. Oh, boy. I just lose, honestly. Like, I didn't even consider Trick Room at all. Like, looking at the team comp, I guess that makes some sense, but Z conversion is typically what you expect from that Porygon. That was so sick. Well done. Well done. I am just boned. I don't even know what I can remotely do. I guess I can maybe Will-O-Wisp to break the Smeargle Sash. I'm probably going to get Spored, so maybe I switch out into Kartana here. Yeah, because at least I can... Wow. I wonder if that Z conversion Porygon then... I mean, I just lose here. Like, I mean, I'm still going to play it out. Nice, wow. Okay, so Spore into the Drifblim. Do we just see a Z conversion then from Porygon, or an attack? Or Breakneck Blitz? Okay, so there's the normal one, but I don't know whether that's conversion or Breakneck Blitz. It might not be conversion if you're running... Yeah, it's Breakneck Blitz. Wow. Yeah, that's so sick. Against Trick Room, Breakneck Blitz Porygon, I don't think I can really do anything with the lead that I went with. That's a crit there, but that doesn't really matter. Basically, right now I need to step 1, stall out Tailwind. Or Trick Room. And Tailwind, I guess. Step 2, try to sweep with Garchomp and Tapu Lele since my opponent has committed a Z move. So I could maybe go for an attack here with Kartana, but the safer play is still to just protect, and I think I probably will just protect. Just because right now, if I want any chance of winning, I need to stall out Trick Room. And so, yeah. Smeargle switches out, which I think is a great play. I did Will-O-Wisp that slot, but Xurkitree actually came out here. Man, so Marowak actually would have been the correct call here. Sheesh. There's a Tri-Attack. Okay. So with Tri-Attack, I wonder, is that Breakneck Blitz Tri-Attack Breakneck Blitz then? If I had Marowak here, I'd actually be in... Like, Marowak would actually be so nice to switch into, but I was hoping, like, Marowak in Team Preview would dissuade the Xurkitree, but my opponent made a call to bring the Xurkitree, which was a very nice read, honestly. So I get one-shot by everything right now. I think I might actually want to conserve Kartana, because he might be able to one-shot Porygon. I don't know about that, but Tailwind will expire, Trick Room will expire after the next turn. I will just Will-O-Wisp Porygon, because that might put it in Sacred Sword KO range. Actually, maybe I just sack both of my Pokemon and then double protect. I'll go for like a last ditch detect here. That's tough. I don't know. Oh, good gosh. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of to be expected. Okay. Okay, this isn't the end of the world. But Tail Glow is absolutely terrifying. And Drifblim unfortunately stays asleep for all 3 turns. Okay, Tailwind Peter's out. Trick Room's about to expire. Now, I know my opponent's committed a Z move, and I've got Garchomp waiting in the back. We've seen Trick Room, and we've seen Tri Attack from Porygon. But because there was Breakneck Blitz, that also could be Hyper Beam. It also could just be Breakneck Blitz. Like, I don't know if there's Ice Beamer or not. And Tailwind expired, so I could actually Tailwind again here. I don't expect to get it off, but I think I need to protect Garchomp. Like, I basically need to try to come back from a 4-2 deficit, but if there are any 2 Pokemon on my team that can do it, it's Garchomp and Tapu Lele. Psychic Terrain will also reset, so that's good. But obviously, like, I haven't been able to do anything right now. I haven't even done any damage. So I'm going to protect. Okay, my opponent does just Thunderbolt. And that makes sense because, you know, I don't have Marowak at this point, so that's obviously going to knock me out through Tail Glow. Do we see an Ice Beam? Circuitry is sitting at +4 right now. Oh boy. And it is Hyper Beam. Okay, so it doesn't have Ice Beam then. It has Hyper Beam, Tri Attack. Whew, okay. So I gotta bring in Tapu Lele right now. Does the Psychic knock out the Porygon? Is Porygon faster or slower? I mean, it's Trick Room. You'd imagine the Circuitry doesn't allow me to just go for a Tectonic Rage in that slot right now. I really have to play this correctly. Like, it's not over. It's definitely not over. Does the Psychic knock it out? I don't think so. I think I want to still just Psychic Porygon and Tectonic Rage, though. Because even if Circuitry protects, I still do damage through the protect. That actually switches out. That's probably Gyarados coming in. Oh, no, it's Clef. Oh, that's so smart as well. Unless Tech Rage just knocks out Clef. If Tech Rage knocks out Clef, then Psychic might just knock out Porygon. But because... Ah, that's such a great switch in by my opponent. Well done. I forgot about Clef. I should have checked what my opponent had in the back. I don't think Tech Rage knocks out Clefairy. And because it doesn't, that means Porygon will be able to get another Trick Room up. Or it can just Hyper Beam, honestly. Either of the 2 work. So let's see. If I get this knockout, it might just completely swing the game back in my favor. But I miss it. Oh, so close. I need a crit here then on Porygon. Both were so darn close. And we do see a Trick Room. Okay. You know, actually, hilariously enough, though, it's still not over despite all of that. That was such a great play, though, by my opponent. I really could have doubled up into Porygon, but obviously, like, Xerkashu was exerting so much pressure. So now, I really have to call who to protect and who to attack with. Like, either Earthquake with Garchomp or, like, who is Porygon going to target, right? That's the question. The obvious answer is Garchomp, right? You want to knock out Garchomp because you know there's a Xerkatry in the back. But because that's so obvious, I mean, Xerkatry could have Dazzling Gleam. I don't know if my opponent can knock out Garchomp otherwise. So maybe I just go for the obvious play. Maybe. Maybe. Ah, this is too obvious. I think I should have protected and Earthquaked. I just Psychicked. Man, that's heartbreaking. If I get either of the knockouts last turn, then I get both. Like, if I knock out Clef, I knock out Porygon as well. Oh, that's sick. But Psychic will still knock it out. So who does Porygon target? Goes Hyper Beam. He actually called it! That's why I wanted an Earthquake. I'm so bad. Okay, actually, there's a small window of opportunity now. Actually, no, there isn't. Man, that's crazy. I think if I actually called it correctly there... Actually, no, I wouldn't be able to knock out Porygon with a Earthquake. So, in retrospect, yeah, that's just a great play by my opponent in general. Woof! That was really nicely done. Clef definitely heal pulses here while Porygon takes its turn off. I guess I should have No, maybe I should have SD'd and Psychic. And it has Encore. I mean, I should be expecting all of these moves from Clef, so maybe I shouldn't have protected. Brilliant play. I got wrecked. But the thing is, like, the margin was so small. I really should have just doubled up on Porygon with Tech Rage and Psychic. But I thought one potential play for my opponent to make was to switch into... Actually, that doesn't make much sense. Yeah, like the turn where I Tectonic Rage Xerkatry and Psychic Porygon was a misplay. Just because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a guaranteed knockout on Porygon and I can get guaranteed free damage there. Because even though this game looked terrible, I was actually just one good play away from completely swinging things back into my favor. And the reason for that is the turn where Porygon Z gets the Trick Room up, if I just, like, Tech Rage and Psychic to knock out Porygon there, then Trick Room doesn't go up. Maybe I don't Tech Rage, I don't know. I mean, I have to Protect here, so I've lost the game. But, like, I got my butt kicked. But the thing was, like, I was like, oh, it's completely over. But there was actually, like, I guess, actually, it's not necessarily over yet. I could get, like, Quadruple Protect, Miss Hyper Beam. Nah, probably not. But, I mean, I'm reflecting on what I could have done better. Like, the early game, I just had no idea. Like, I did not see that coming whatsoever. So that was really well done. But basically, the turn where I really messed up was the turn Clefairy came in for free. Not for free, but the turn let it soaked up all that damage. I don't know if those were damage rolls. I assume not. Like, you would think my opponent's probably Eevee to survive that. Sorry, I don't want to take up much time, but I just want to analyze the game, really, for you guys. There's literally nothing I can do. But my win condition in this was... Clefairy switching out. My win condition was knocking out Porygon. Had I protected Tapu Lele and Earthquake that turn, like, it would have looked really good, obviously. But Earthquake probably doesn't knock out Porygon because of the Heal Pulse. And then my opponent can just Encore me. So, like, that turn I was frustrated about, but I actually probably still lose the game there. What I needed to do was basically deny the... I needed to double up into Clefairy or Porygon. If I double up into Clefairy and Psychic that slot, then what happens is Trick Room goes up, but then, like, Xurkitree... Actually, no. I think my opponent still wins. So maybe I really needed to call that Clefairy was coming in and double up into my opponent's Porygon, because then Trick Room doesn't go up. I still have... Like, maybe I Earthquake and Psychic. Sure, I do damage to myself, but then that knocks out Porygon. Clefairy takes damage where it's in Tectonic Rage KO range, and then Xurkitree is in Psychic KO range, potentially. Either way, Xurkitree, unless this HP Ice can't knock out Garchomp in one hit, might have Dazzling Gleam instead. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, leave a like if you did, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.